producer, and I also write scores for cinema. I've been creating music my whole life, even when I was little, just singing melodies that would pop into my head. But it wasn't until about 3 years ago I started getting into production. And then I discovered incredible virtual instruments, like you could make whole symphonies on your computer. And that really excited me. So I then dove into the world of film scoring. I never thought that I would get into production or film scoring. My goal at first was to perform, which is my first love, is performing on stages and just around my room, singing and playing piano and then eventually guitar. So it wasn't until I discovered how much fun I had when I was behind the computer screen, just being in that world. So I didn't start out with much equipment at all. I used to just start out using the little keyboard on my laptop and using that tiny little keyboard on, not this laptop. I used to have a laptop that was actually maybe like a third of the size. And people would laugh at me because it would always get broken and I'd only have a tiny bit of screen space to see a whole session or a whole little score. The gear is just a tool that you use to get your creativity out, but it's not the actual power. So it's easy to worry about having the perfect gear to make the perfect song, but you can build the most perfect studio and have the most expensive gear, but if you're sitting there and you're like, well, what do I write? And then it's hard to focus on the creativity. So my thing is creativity, vision first, gear second. The most rewarding that really pulled me in was I basically had to combine everything. So it was putting on a show, so performance, but mixed with scoring for a video that I actually created. And it was a big project because it was basically me starting from scratch, hiring the musicians, leading rehearsals, creating the visuals, and it felt like a lot to take on. It felt like a big mountain, especially the film scoring part because I am newer to that, but it's like once I put the bow on it, I mean, I had to because it was the night before the show, because you always want to keep working. But once I did that, I felt very proud. I felt like I gave it my all. So that was the most rewarding project, was creating a show with everything. Consistency and persistence are the two words that really resonate with me, because I can get very impatient sometimes. Like, let's say I'm not making enough progress, or I wanna, build myself up and get more gigs, and they're not all happening right away, which is very normal. You just kind of keep building on that. It's not like if you don't get done everything you want to get done in a day, you're done. You just keep going. I would say my mantra is to go big, to go home, because often when you do something that makes you feel like you're risking something, or you do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, you end up getting to the core of who you really are. And I found that the times when I'm at my happiest are the times when I've often felt the most scared at the beginning. In 5 years, I do hope to keep that feeling of being fulfilled with creating, but then on a more like surface level standpoint, I would really love to tour with an orchestra. That would be a big goal of mine. So performing original compositions and also creating a whole show again. I love that whole aspect. If there's one piece of advice I could give to a female creator, it would be to use imposter syndrome to your advantage. Choose to believe that you are worthy of putting your most authentic vision out there and having that vision be recognized.